So as they were doing adequate yearly testing, compared to the suburban schools, their children were now post-secondary education students. They were getting syllabuses at, 7th, 8th grade. Their children, because their professor parents were now guiding their children, so that first, as a PSEO student, they were getting college courses before college was paying for it. Now they've got these courses coming out, and they got to carry their credits over. Whereas Shayla, when they, said, Shayla's going into the 9th grade, and back in the past, this is how we do it, but this is how we do it now. You got 4 high schools to choose from. One's in your home district. The other one is close to your home district. With that being said, the other 2 are not. You'll be responsible for her transportation. Right now, you're going to be responsible if you don't want her riding a city bus, because we've cut funding. We're no longer providing school buses for the inner city kids or the suburban kids. They get a Metro Pass, but the suburban kids usually are driving. They're driving themselves to school at 16, 17. They have driver's licenses where most of your children do not. We don't even offer your kids driving in the inner city. My kids had to get that when they went to the suburban school. In the inner city, we didn't get that offer. Why? Because we weren't making adequate yearly progress. According to the professors that now had kids, that put them suburban high schools out in their area, that was guiding their children, using the things like the iPhones and things, their kids were way ahead of ours. So at 16, 17, they're already getting college courses. By the time they're 18, they're in college with almost a degree. By the time they're 20, 22, 23, they've already achieved, 2-4-year degree. Now, by 18, they are now with the 2-4-year degree, maybe. They are now going into 20, 22, 24. Now they're teaching your children. And they're in the inner city. So the union stepped in, and the union said, now we're going to do admin transfers. We're going to do referrals, because these kids that didn't go to school in the inner city that are teaching your kids are scared of your kids. And we want our kids to be protected. So nobody thought about that. So as they began to retire, people like my son's 2nd grade teacher, she was fucking 90 years old, I swear to God. She was 90 years old. She had 18 kids in her class. They used her as an example, and then that's how they set the standard for what you had to have as a degree in order to even teach high school, grad school. Because when my aunt was going through college, getting a teacher's degree, kindergarten through 3rd grade was very different than getting from 4th grade through 12th grade. That required more schooling. You're now looking at masters. They were looking at doctorates. They were looking at things that was way different than when we were growing up and teachers were teaching us, right? What did teachers have to have in 1974 when Sharon went into kindergarten and said the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I had to write that shit. I had to learn that shit. If I didn't do what the teacher said, I got my ass whooped. Then they took that out to schools. You didn't need to learn the pledge anymore. They took religion out of school. You are not going to be saying, the Lord's Prayer. You had to go to church for that. We're not even going to recite that, because sometimes I get it wrong. Sometimes it's extended. I don't know, because, you got so many versions of it that you could break it down, speed it up. You could do what you want under today's technology using, again, the phone. Because it's artificial. The data's uploaded specific to what they want you to know, unlike your public library, unlike your courthouse downtown. What's public information? Now, I said my case file was public, but my mugshots were not. But now they created mugshots.com. I went after Joshua R. Williams really quickly, because I was on a blog that the police created where they were, exposing my mugshot. My case file's public, but now they're going a step farther. They created a blog, and they're exposing your fucked up moment when they arrest you. And remember now, a lot of times we plead out. We don't want to be detained in jail. We don't know if the case is proven or not. Why? Because we plead out. We agree. We plead no contest. No contest is worse than I agree, I'm guilty. Why? Because you didn't want to go to court. Plead no contest, they got you. I learned that the hard way too, But again, you got to study. They study.